I saw $2, whether I had it or not. One day I gave them all my money just to try to get people to do me right for what they've done. So, I don't know. Every day I try to do something. I guess I probably should have lied sooner because I think they got my Facebook hacked or something. Because out of all the cool shit I got, man, I'm wearing some pretty cool shit I made. Like, nobody's noticed it. Like, I don't know what's going on. Just like now, nobody's watching. Like, makes you wonder, right? I don't even know why I'm trying to fight anymore, but I'm not going to give up. Commie bastards aren't going to get me. I mean, whatever. Eventually people will wake up and see. I realized I got turned in for Dinesh D'Souza's book, but it was a New York bestseller, and it talked about how great we were, so I'm not understanding their logic. That was a while ago, though. Like, and all the crap they've done to me is just insane. And, like, my stick's too cool not to notice. I even got a chain on there for the freed slaves, like Frederick Douglass, man. People didn't even know he was a Republican, you know? An abolitionist and a whole lot more. Or George Washington Carver. I got him covered with the agriculture. George Washington Carver is the one who decided to rotate the crops. Bet you a lot of you guys didn't know that. You know, from like soybeans to corn to whatever else, because the roots grow different and hold the ground together. You know why? Because of the Dust Bowl. Like, they were planting corn on top of corn on top of corn on top of corn. All the roots were going the same way, and when they tilled them up or harvested them or whatever, like, it took the roots up and left it dusty. That's what happened there. Plus, leaving like that there for the nutrition is good too, but the real reason is because it holds the ground together. So much, and I'm in the town of the man who invented the radio, the original radio, Stubblefield. Pretty badass guy nobody knows about. It's sad the way this country's become, where you can harass somebody all day long and nobody knew anything about it. Like I said, it's every week, if not every day. This week started out with dead minks and liars and ended up with you're a nigger. So I don't know. And it's crazy because it was the complete opposite before with these morons. It really was. Said they held up a sign that said, cavalry's not coming, boy. Had a job. It's just pure and utter insanity anymore. And you can't get a soul to help you. And that was Nathaniel Stubblefield. Hello. Which is actually a pretty good guy in terms of history. He doesn't really look black, but he is. That hangs up people too, because when they go to look at the picture, he doesn't look black, but he's mixed. Freed slave too, I believe. It's like the annals of history are lost. Like I was saying, like with these I'm proud to be white people, you're probably not. Probably got a mix of everything in you. Same goes for the other. Like I explained earlier when I was talking to you, you can have two white parents and have a black baby, or have two black parents and have a white baby, just depending on what the dominant gene is. It's genetics, people. Here's good old Robert E. Lee, which really wasn't a bad guy, honestly. Like, he was at West Point and graduated from West Point when the Civil War started. You know, he's like a professor. That and after the war he was. He didn't own a slave. He was a badass general. He just didn't care about people. He cared and he didn't care. You know, it's like, if there's 30 of you and 200 of the other people, he'd be like, get out there, motherfucker, and die, you know? That's what people didn't like him for. Patton was the same way. I mean, they had that whatever going on. But it's really sad how far we've gone downhill, guys. It really is. It is a beautiful courthouse here, though. Anyway, I'm going to go up here and go around and go up by the college and then go back to my car where it's parked. But I don't know, it's been hard for me. Especially the way I was put down that whole time. You know, Nobody will want you. Everybody hates you type shit. We're going to catch him. Nigger lover. And I heard he's got some spick in his family and all that. Which, I mean, really, what does it matter? More than likely they do too. You know, that's the crazy part. Like, everybody's so ashamed of the Native American side too. Why are you ashamed of that one? I don't get that one. Like, the only way you get pure genetics, like I said, and I explained this earlier, is if a mother and dad have 2 kids, then their daughter and son have a kid, then their daughter and son have a kid. That's the only way you get a purebred human. And then you end up getting them looking like frogs and shit. Not that God didn't create us. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that that's the only way. You know, genetic features show up. Like, that goes for anything, honestly. Like, some of your dominant features are probably the better parts of you. You know, like you got a really cool finger or something like that. That's probably a dominant gene. Do you understand? Like, and they pass down through the years. And yeah, it'll go out of your blood or even out of your DNA, but you'll still have that feature. That's how that works. And it takes a long time for that to happen. And then there's people that are quarter and tenths and things like that. So, I mean, really, the whole issue of race is melomoid on that, you know. And black people have been treated bad in this country. I'm not saying that, but I've been treated ridiculous. That is no lie. I mean, they can openly wipe snot on your chicken and nobody do anything and call you nigger and boy. There's something wrong with the world. You know? Hold up a sign, stand behind you, swat their hands. You know, which is really sick and disgusting when you think about it because, like, I have my head busting open I don't know how many times. I'll visit one of those places on this trip, too. But, I mean, it's really just, it's disgusting. They violated every one of my civil rights. I mean, so, like, what's a person supposed to do? I walked over the freaking Carroll, Illinois bridge, guys. A 360-degree turn onto the on-ramp with, like, there's no more than 6 inches difference between you and the bridge and you and the semi or whatever, and nobody cares. Like, I'm copying all the Ninja Turtles and Leonardo da Vinci too. I mean, that is the turtle, but still, that's the whole point. Like, they don't get it. They don't even know who Leonardo da Vinci is, or Donatello, or Michelangelo. They don't understand. What, the Ninja Turtles? And that's probably the way they would have said it. Oh my goodness. I'll fix that when I get home. At least I caught it. That was from my dispatchers. I guess they dropped off. I'll put them back on. No, they didn't drop off. I know they didn't. They just came untied. I'll take care of it, though. And for that one, I did 2 pieces of a Victorian era. Well, I mean, it's not. I don't know if it was made to look like Victorian era lampshade. I don't know if it was or not. It had some funky taste to it, so I'm sure it probably had lead or, you know, I don't know, mercury or some shit in it. But anyway, here's what it looked like after it fell apart. But I'll fix it when I get home. And it's just, life's just extremely hard, especially considering they took everything I worked for. You know, it'd be different if I didn't work 2 jobs and shit. But didn't spend my whole life collecting that stuff. Didn't drive 4 hours to get the freaking Luger or 6 hours to get the P38. And there was a lot of, go ahead, guys. There was a lot of bad stuff that happened before that. And that's why I had that stuff, was to forget that. And the other thing, like, the other crazy, crazy part about this is all the people that got beat down trying to help me, you know, to the point, you know, they don't want to do whatever. And it's so freaking crazy. I'm walking around like this and people are thinking I'm like making a movie or a philanthropist or something that has a lot of money. And no, I'm a broke ass trying to get them to do me right. Like, I don't get it, man. I really don't. You know, like I said, what's the big deal about having a Cottoner in your family or Mize in your family? I get the really fancy names like Levine and stuff like that. I get those. But I mean, why care about the other ones? You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I'm mucking it up by talking about it, I guess. That narrow-mindedness is what's going to keep us. That's what's going to kill us. You know, idiocracy. You know how stupid all the people are? That's from, I don't like white people. Not saying you got to go out and do that, but I'm saying, like, if it's in there, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I guess it's really killing rich people because they really don't fuck with people like that. But you know what I'm saying? I guess you don't, because nobody knows what I'm saying. It's just really sad that it had to go this way. I had a 790 credit score. Do you know that? You know how hard it was to get a 790 credit score? Especially since you've been on your own since high school. You know how hard that was? It wasn't easy. Because they want to beat you down. Cost you your job, and it just destroyed you. Like, I don't know if they understood that was my life savings, that's all I'd worked for. That's all I had to do. All I had to get my memories off the stuff. And I was never okay with sharing. I don't know where they got that one from. It's really hard. Like, I got an endangered frog in my backyard, just popped up out of nowhere, which is pretty cool. I've saved I don't know how many frogs and salamanders and turtles, which I always did that. I liked it. I saved 3 copperheads in one day. I mean, come on, where's my good karma yet? And to those religious people, I mean, hell, that puts me up there on the top, because then there's something about taming snakes or some bullshit like that. I don't know. I've always been able to look at the sun, but I think that has to do somewhere with my genetic makeup somewhere. Like, I do know there's stories of the Badland or something like that in our family, and then there's Greek too. So it's probably an evolved trait. It really freaks the hell out of people, though. Well, that and my grandma thought that, but she was supposed to be Helen of Troy, and her name means both ways. It means ray of light, ray of beautiful light. Then I was supposed to, it was Helen Urane, I don't know. Anyway. And then I was supposed to be Troy, I think, and I was supposed to have a son named Zeus. Is the way it was supposed to, not named Zeus, but he was supposed to be Zeus. I don't know, my son ended up with autism. That's another story altogether. It's kind of heartbreaking too. So, it's just, they've done me wrong, people. And nobody wants to do me right. It's sad. I mean, yeah, and of course I deserve it now, because I got the headband and the stick and vest and all that, but the ew and gross and he's nasty and sick and what? I was nothing but a dad. You know what I mean? That's the sad part. It's like rip a person to pieces. And then all these threats of killing me and doing this and doing that. It breaks a person. And I thought there were good people in this world. When I get, alright, some of them didn't understand that I was homeless, and that, like, when I lived at home, there's only like 3 feet between me and the roof of the room. But then to run around and say that it was because I wouldn't clean my room, which was a big freaking lie. You couldn't walk in the damn house. That's pretty pathetic. Life's pretty shitty right now. And they all hate me. And then to burn my Go for Broke book, guys. I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve any of it. And it's going on 2 years of this shit. Like, they got the upper hand at the hospital. Like, when I left Pilgrim's Pride, Hickory, Kentucky, whatever, Poultry Lane something, when I left there, I went to the hospital. I've been huffing down ammonia for months. They've been messing with my head for months. I was mixing mix that was like you poured it in and dust went over your head. And then they did all that to me. And then the minute I pull in the parking lot, they're all doing those same things. Like, he. We thought he was dumb. Like, that made it okay to try to make somebody think they're crazy? Their logic is like, So crazy. It makes no sense. Like, and then for them to do the shit they did to me at Pella, that was wrong. And then gored those people into making it think that it was a race thing or something. Which, I mean, that was what one of them said. They were going to drive me crazy because I did something that I didn't do, but it didn't happen. But it was never about that. And then try to push it that way and try to make me be that way. And no, I tried to have a civil discussion with a woman about stuff. And things have gone so backwards, she thinks she can say the N-word. You know what I mean? And thinks that the Jews are the bad guys. The Jews aren't the bad guys. The Jews were the victims. You know what I mean? Like, we really got to start doing better in history. That's just like them calling me stupid for saying Japan was our allies in World War I, and they were. You're stupid for thinking they weren't. Japan, I'm going to go on a ramble about Japan again. But Japan was just trying to copy us going back to like the 1800s, man. They just wanted to be like us. That's what they wanted to be. Then when World War II came around, we're like, no, we ain't selling you the oil because we see what you're doing in these places. And then that's when the military made the decision to go after us. Mussolini was just a little fat dick that went around Italy lying to the people. And a lot of the Italians didn't like him either. He was a fascist, you know, kind of like the shit they're doing to me, you know? Like, beat a person down until they agree with you or whatever. That type of thing, you know? It's insane. It really is. And like, Russia was on some shit too. And if Hitler would have split up Poland like he was supposed to, then we probably would have lost the war. Maybe, I don't know if we'd have lost the war. We wouldn't have gave up. We're badasses. Yeah, we had the industrial might. Never mind. But anyway, we'd have had to fight Russia too, you know? So, but then they became our allies and we kicked ass, you know? That's another reason with Japan, like, wanting to end the war. Not only did we annihilate, I think it was 300,000 people, which is really sad that it had to come to that, but they were fighting for the gods, so they wouldn't have gave up until their god gave up, which he did, and we spared his life for it. But, like, Russia was on its way to Japan after we kicked Nazis' ass. And that's the other thing, like, people don't understand, just because they were from Germany or even in the German army did not mean they were bad guys. A lot of those people tried to fight, like Stauffenberg. Man fought till the end. I mean, hell, when the guy was fighting, he was like, half of his body had already been blown up. I mean, that's a badass right there, you know? And same thing with Rommel, you know? He killed Rommel. What sense did that make? Done. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Right? He did a lot of that shit, and nobody gives those people credit because they did try. You know, and a lot of the reason a lot of the Jewish people are here are just like the Anne Frank story. People hid them in their attics and everything else. And you know what happened to those people? They died. And you know what they were? Germans. Like, it's idiocracy at its best, you know? Where France fucked up was the Rhineland. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't think anybody was going to fuck with it, you know? Which is like a little strip of land that was like no man's land, you know? And Germans come in and said, fuck you, we're taking it, you know, blitzkrieg. Anyway, which was good and bad. It got them winning the war at first, but they did it so much that they wore themselves ragged is what happened. That, and Hitler just wanted to take Stalingrad. He wanted that town. He really, really wanted it. Didn't make no sense, but he really, really wanted it. It's because it had Stalin's name's what it was. But yeah, that's kind of how that happened. But it was the evil that, like, Goebbels and people like that spread around the world. And von Braun, believe it or not, even though he went to the NASA program, he was straight up Nazi in the beginning. I don't know what happened afterwards. But still. Which also brings me to another point. You know, the American Nazis that were here in the 30s. Like, did you know Lindenberg was a Nazi? Bet you didn't. You know Walt Disney was a Nazi? Bet you didn't. But it's all part of history that's lost somewhere. You know? That's the kind of stuff that gets people saying they want to hang me and stuff. You know what I mean? Idiocracy. I mean, capitalism is great, you know what I mean? But communism and fascism isn't. And whatever's going on here is fucked up. I have no clue. I'm walking around, which I mean, technically I guess I can because Tonto is mixed. Walking around looking like a hippie Tonto. And I really am, like, been white to these people forever, but I mean, there really is mixed blood there, and probably is with them too. And they're too stupid to see it. Like I said, it's all in the names. Cottoners, Mize, Batty, God. And they used to have this all figured out. I mean, I think they probably do. What books they haven't rewrote. But I don't understand why nobody's doing me right. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, it'd be different if I was like, I don't know, trying to flaunt or something like that. I don't understand. I really don't. It's sad to me. And there's such narrow-mindedness with this stuff. Like, all these poor people that come here and open a business. Yeah, we give them small business loans and stuff like that. But it's really sad to me, like, the way they treat these people. And then, it shouldn't be that way regardless. Like, we should treat those people like friends and we'll win. You know what I mean? We don't know where the hell they're from, And Gandhi beat the world by making salt. Dude just made salt. That was it. It's sad to me, It really is. And, like, some of the Iraqi soldiers, badass motherfuckers, dude. I mean, they fought alongside us, They fought against their own people. And then just give them hell when they get here. I mean, that's kind of sad. It'd be different if it was the ones that were giving us the hell, The ones that fought for us, I mean, we should give them a little bit of respect. The things they did, It's really kind of sad. The whole thing's kind of sad. Did you know? Which any other time, I'd be like, it. Okay, if we were like 30 years ago, I'd be it. All right, I can stare at the sun. I've proved that a bunch. Like over a minute at a time. Like I did that like 6 times one day just to prove a point. And no retina damage. But besides that, I was born on the same day as Gandhi. I died at birth 2 or 3 times, which I've died a bunch over my life. I've been shot by 220 volts for over 20 minutes and didn't die. And like, I drove through the eye of a storm one time. Nuts. Like the big tornado that happened here, drove right through it. I've been in more fights than I can count. Been whacked in the head with skateboards. I'm not sure if any of that's in there, but I saved turtles and salamanders and all that wild shit. And like I said, any other time in history, I'd be it. Not the guy they beat down. Not the guy they beat to pieces. Not the guy they steal everything from. Not the guy they're just like, it's okay, you can do whatever we want. We hope he kills himself. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Hell, I branded myself. But that shit looks cool. I got all 3 of the marks. I got the birthmark on the ass, the scar under the eye, and the one on the hand, I guess. I got a few more marks. I don't know if they mean anything or not. But I mean, I think those ones are important. I think the scar under the eye is because they even got tattoos of that one. That's from a clash ring that some guy hit me with. And that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just kind of doing what God tells me to do because they did me wrong. Like, so wrong. Like, they spit at me. Tell me they were going to tell me. Like, what? Wipe snot on my chicken. Like, really? Stole stuff from me. Tried to say I stole. Like, it's like they're heartless as hell. Like, I mean, I don't even understand anymore. I really don't. Like, I walked across the Carroll Bridge. That's a huge bridge. A dangerous one. Rusty as hell, too. CBs, y'all need to get on that one. But, yeah. They're going to hit me. Oh, well, I'll mess up the car. The stick will mess them up. It's like I'm screaming for help, and nobody helped me. I just get it worse every day. I mean, not worse. I mean, they've laid back quite a bit, honestly. I mean, it is better, but still, I get tired of being called called the N-word and things like that. Like, I mean, even if there was no African American blood or no whatever blood in me, it still don't give you the right to call somebody that. You know what I mean? And this right here, that's a white willow. If you ever have a headache, you can chew that stuff and get away. It'll go away. Well, the bark of it anyway. But yeah, it's insanity to me. Like, I made this totally awesome stick behind me. It's got, I got everybody on there. Even got, Desert Storm and all that on there. It's like got everybody. It's got a broke piece of Japanese crystal from like the 50s on it. That's for the Go for Broke guys. I put a buffalo nickel under it. That's for the Buffalo Soldiers and Native Americans. And they're kind of all in there. I mean, like, some of the pieces are symbolic of a lot of things, Like, you can't exclude people like the Windtalkers and stuff like that. Straight up badasses, man. Can you imagine being told, like, hey, you're going to go over here and do this code, but if you get caught, your friend's going to shoot you? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Like, how brave you would have to be? Or like the poor Go for Broke guys are basically, it went a concentration camp, but it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, they did take everything they owned, kind of like they did me, and put them in a camp, and they didn't have to fight. They didn't have to go over to war. But they did anyway, and you know what they did? They went over there and were badasses. I mean, there were so many badasses of World War II. I just can't believe, like, these people are like this now. Like, so cold and heartless. Like, I don't understand. Like I said, like I was explaining the other day, I think somebody said they were from Iran. I'm not sure. I'm not making the judgment call. And I don't know if that's what he said or not. But like I said, I saw a little girl crying in there one day. And so I gave the mom some money, or the aunt some money to give to her, maybe make her feel better. But I noticed she was dressed in her religious attire or whatever. So the next day, well, that's just like 3 or 4 days later, I want to be more correct about that, I gave her a copy of our Constitution. Well, not her uncle, which owns the store. A copy of the Bill of Rights and Constitution to give to the mom, hoping she would give it to the daughter. Because I think that was some of the problem. I think that might have been it. But anyway, those, I just felt bad for her. I don't understand why we're so cruel to people. I don't. I mean, of course, like me, the cruelness they did to me was completely different. And nobody cares. It's like any other time in history. Like, every piece on my stick's got a story. Like any other time. And the things that were done to me were ridiculous. Like, totally against the law, ridiculous. Like, using the cops against me. That's another thing. One of them made a stand-up of me in the bar. Which I don't want anybody to lose their job. Which I think I pissed them people off just by singing, look here, let's see, You Wonder Why They Call You Bitch by Tupac. It's a redneck bar, they don't like that shit, I get it. But I didn't think it would turn into this, and the song's completely opposite of what the one idiot thought. It's about not doing that anymore. That's what the song's about. And, like, they don't want to do anything. And they know what happened. They do not want to do a thing. Like I said, some of the stuff I would have done already would have been so epic for other people. But I do it every day. Like changing flags and things like that. Buying them and putting them up and things like that. Like, it would have been so epic for somebody else. But, they're not. That's David. We can do whatever the hell we want to. Man. Stupid nigger. I mean, that kind of crap. You know what I mean? That's what they say about me. It's like, I don't know. It's like they ate their brains or something. You know what I mean? They just think it's all okay. I don't know. And of course, my life does seem too crazy. It really does. Like, how many people, ever stood up to a Saudi prince? I don't know anybody. Me. That's it. And that was random as hell, too. Just showed up at the wrong party one day wearing a suit. Yeah, I mean, I can see where they want to commit me, but my life's just insane. It was. I mean, I got caught in the current, went down like 100 feet in the current. I jumped off a bridge, a big giant river bridge. Fell off a railroad bridge. Been in more fights than I can count. Been jumped more times than I can count. Like, it's just insanity. Like, the amount of shit they've done to me, though. Like, lately, because they didn't believe it. And it tears at your soul. It really does. Every day. Every day I do something amazing to, maybe get them to do something right. And they don't. It tears a hole in me. A little more. Because this is America. It should have never been allowed to happen here. Regardless of who you are. And honestly, I really don't think I'm that ugly. I may be missing something here, but I don't see it. I mean, I know I'm not a 10 or nothing like that, but I'm not that ugly, I don't think. Maybe I am, hell, I don't know. But still, I didn't need to be beat down like that. And just have people look at you and go, ew, gross. Like, why? What did I do? You know what I mean? Like, what did I do? And they don't want to do anything about it. Like 3 months of them screaming out, mommy, mommy, and jumping up and hitting their fists. Knowing that my mom used to bust my head open just to make me go get stitches. Just to make me go get stitches, guys. I was in the hospital 10 to 20 times a year, no lie. Absolutely true. They can go back and check that one. And nobody wants to do anything. It's insane. It really is insane. And like, I don't understand why my Facebook hadn't picked up yet. You know what I mean? It's David V. Hightower. I don't understand it. But hell, at the one job, they had me convinced that they hung up my grandfather's flag in the middle of the plant. Like, and nobody wants to do anything. I don't get it. And like, I'm related to some rich people too, by the way. I wasn't rich. I've always been dirt poor. It's insanity. It really is insanity. I'm about to walk up. I'm where like the first Murray Marshall fight was. Like, I walked out of the bowling alley, there's like 50 people out there. They'll say that never happened too. The second one I kicked ass at though. We just passed that was the square. Back then people used to drive back and forth with their cars. And then in a minute I'll show you where I got hit in the head with a skateboard. It's just insane. It really is just insane. And nobody's noticed me. Like, who drives around with a question mark in the window? Putting question marks up everywhere. I came up with an awesome idea for religion that would cover everybody. The American Christian. Just be everything. Which, I mean, that's what we all are. We're all part of the story. Going all the way back to Homer and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't know who Homer is. You know? Or Heron. Or any of them. And I'm the stupid one here. It's like I'm on another planet, man. You can go talking genetics, and shit like that. Neanderthalistic and crap like that. And they're like, no, I'm not. Melanistic, things like that. They're just freaking lost in it, and I'm the idiot. Anyway, it was right there. And then I got True Flight Love on my jacket, or my vest, and a few other sayings from like civil rights leaders and things like that. And they don't get it. Like, they really don't. And my stick's a freaking radio. I made a freaking radio out of a stick. Like, what more do I have to do? But anyway, it was right back there. I mean, it's not a great great signal, but it should, cause a little pulse to mess up shit. I mean, it's not like it's going to be bopping or something like that. But you put a little juice to it, it interrupt the signal is what it'd do. Like, I even got insulators and all that on it. Like, Jesus, what else do you have to do? It's insanity. Okay. But yeah. I don't know. One day, and I think I really made an impression on this woman. It looked like she had some clout. But one day, I went in front, walked out on the highway to save a 20-pound snapping turtle. Like, I think she was pretty impressed like that. She had a little dog. I was like, you better keep it back. It might eat it. No, I didn't say that, but it hurted. She tried to get closer to it, and I was like, get it, bite your hand off. But it probably would have at least broke it. Miss a finger or something like that. I mean, like, what more do you have to do? Like, I came up with a great ideal to make the company I'm working with now some money. I don't think it flopped, but it was a good ideal, and I'll probably end up getting fired from there too. And it's crazy the little things that it take to, like, trigger those memories, like, now. And it's all just a bunch of lies. The way they scream out thief and crap like that. He was just trying to do this, and it wasn't true. It wasn't even me. It wasn't even me. I got everything robbed from me. That's the insanity of it all. And nobody cares. And I would take you where the rape house was, but they tore it down. So. But that was me that got it done. Haha. Wrong person, wrong place. But yeah, that was a long time ago too. But people want to see me dead. It's insanity. And nobody cares. What they did, the Pilgrims, was beyond crazy, guys. I don't get it. Like, the thing is, like, people like me, like, these things have happened to us before, Like, that's how they get this way, is people beat them down, like Gandhi and all them. And, there's also people that had similar beliefs, but different beliefs, you know what I mean? Like Einstein, and the whole MC square thing, that was a big riddle. I don't know why nobody ever figured that out, but it's just insanity. We are the dark matter. We're the one eating the planet. And like I said, the stuff I'm saying, people just don't even get. I don't understand. And like, I'm walking around here telling them, hey, come kill me, and they ain't doing it yet. They've been saying they're going to do it for 2 years now, so. Like, I don't understand. I would run off and leave, but I'd just die like they say. It's insanity. Cold, broken, alone. But it's tearing at me. Like, it's tearing that we got this far. I don't know how we got this far. I know they didn't want people to lose their job was a lot of it. And like I said, I don't even know if this is getting live or not. I don't understand why nobody showed up for me the other day. Like, I thought I would have had a friend show up for me. Nobody did. It's sad. Standing outside the liquor store saying all that stuff, saying they were going to kill me and hang me and do all this other stuff, and it's just funny to them. Like, I don't know. I try so hard every day not to give up. Oh well. Whatever. It's just kind of sad to me. I really did think I had a couple friends, though. I had to give them all up, to take care of my kids, though. So, I get that. I want to keep them away. It's like there's no intelligent people left anymore or something. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, it should have never gone this way. None of it should have gone this way. It's really sad. Anyway, over there's a library or something. This dude who eventually became my friend later. Him and this other guy who was a skateboard punk, called the girl I was with at the time. Which I didn't know the reason why they called her it, but she was young. You know how guys do young girls. It probably wasn't her fault, but still. Anyway, he said, you want to fight? I'm like, okay. And then I go walking this way. Whack me in the head right around here. I think it's a different pole, but right there. Busted my head open, got a shit ton of stitches. And, anyway, I gotta beat the shit out of both of them. Which, I mean, I love that dude. The one guy. Not so much the little skinny punk. Which, I mean, he was on the news. I guess he's semi-famous. For, armed robbery or some shit. I don't know. Not the one. One of the two, anyway. It's just kind of sad. And the stuff they allow people to do. I don't know. And the fact that nobody cares. Like I said, any other time in history, I'd be on the... Anybody even thought about walking on the bridge when I was a kid, they'd be on the news. Like, what? You know what I mean? Just walking around with a stick, doing good, and question mark in my window. Broke up a fight with a Bible. How many people... Well, I mean, it wasn't really a fight. It was a dude slapping the hell out of his girlfriend. I couldn't take it no more, and I couldn't find nothing else to grab. That's when I came up with the idea for the stick. But, yeah. All I could come up with was Jesus loves you. Which, I mean, that should work. I don't understand. I don't get any of it. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's kind of funny. There's a person going around with this Trinity thing, right? And what's Trinity mean? Tri, meaning three. And no, it's not. It's one dude, man. Trinity literally means, that literally is what it means, is one. One never ending. That's what Trinity means, smart guy. I mean, idiocracy. You can basically create a mini little cult out of that crap. You know, and like one person's closer to God than another, and no, you're not. And if, the feeling in the pit of your stomach tells you to do it, you're supposed, no. You listen to your heart, man. That's what you do. I don't know. I just went out of here and I don't have the means. And they did me wrong. And they'll probably kill me this way. I don't know. I've done everything I can to get people to do me right, and they just won't do it. Oh, that's the other thing I did the other day. Like, there was a field fire, and the fireman probably thinks I'm on acid or something. But there was a field fire, so I stopped, and I stomped it out. He pulls up, and he's looking at me like, what the fuck? Yeah, that happened. I don't get it. It's another thing. One day, one dude threw some trash out the window. I stopped, got it, threw it in the trash right in front of him. Just like epic stuff you see all the time. And like on videos and stuff. I do that every single I did the Iliad and trees we cut down. I mean, come on. I branded myself. How cool is that? And nobody wants to do a damn thing. It's like I'm living in the freaking idiot Twilight Zone or something. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you? Like, when I worked at the liquor store, there was people that showed up, like, from elementary school to harass me. Like, that's just insane to me. Not buy anything, just show up there, walk around. These handful of dudes are like coward, crap like that. But I'm in their town right now, calling them out. And they're not here. Just saying. If I was that big a coward, boys, you could come get me right now, but you're not. It was just a handful of redneck retards, but still. And they also like sit there and talk about how they're gonna molest my daughter and all this crap. I'm like, what are you even doing talking to kids first off? Because they knew too much personal stuff. Like, personal stuff was getting out somehow, and they give all these idiots platforms, and now, I got a platform with like one person on it or something, I guess. I don't know. But I'm gonna keep talking and keep doing stuff till they do me right. I mean, like, the stuff I've done is epic, man. Like, literally epic. Like anybody else, it would be epic. I'm gonna tell you another story. When I lived over on the projects, which is the other side of town, right? Anyway, one of my friends got into it with another dude. These dudes show up, like 5 or 6 of them, right? And my friend pops out the house, and like they're surrounding him, getting ready to jump him. They're pulling out these sticks and things like that. Dude hollers out, which, I mean, hell, it's over. This story's everywhere. Dude hollers out, GD, what? And then the whole hood comes out, man. Dude locked down the store and everything else. Epic, man. Everybody hollered out what they were supposed to, but still, like, and that story's been told over and over and over again. Everybody knows that story. It's just insanity, man. Like, those are the type of things they beat me down for. And like I said, like, I'm walking around here, like, that's the other thing. Look, I got an endangered species strapped to my back and walked over the freaking Caro Bridge into another state. Yeah, did that crap. Walked the last 2 miles back home barefooted. Which I wouldn't suggest that to anybody, because there's probably all kinds of shit in that stuff. That town needs to be saved, though, guys. Y'all really need to save that town. And by the time they find out any of this stuff, I'm going to be dead. By the time they find my Facebook or any of that stuff, I'll be dead. I had some pretty amazing ideals on how to change the world and how we can get along better and what we are and all that. I even asked which, I mean, a few of them dropped off after I did, but I asked everybody to say the same prayer, truth, light, love, everybody. I asked all of them to say it. And they got friends that were involved. I'm not mad at anybody. What I want is the corporations to pay and the people in charge to pay. I don't want anybody else to pay. Maybe I'm an Asari or, something like that, Just throw a little change in my way. Like, hell, the school system actually showed me, because they cheated me out of education because they moved me up a grade. Because my mom kept me sick and in the hospital so much, they held me back, and then they moved me back in the grade, and I just missed the whole year of school there. And then you come to high school and you get put out in the dropout prevention program, which just means we're going to work you like a slave and you do a packet every week. And I missed high school. So, like, there's that. The fact that, everybody at the hospital seemed to know what my mom was doing, but did nothing about it because she was persistent. I mean, you could pay me for that. That's like a whole lifetime worth of shit. Them leaking the shit to their little brats, I went to school with and stuff, and them taunting me over it. That looks like there's something they could do about that, Like, just feel bad and give me some money, shit. I mean, you guys have done me wrong, man. They really have done me wrong. Like, all the way around. Like, and then to take everything I earned. That's what's killing me inside. Like, if I still had that stuff, I might not think about it. You know what I mean? I didn't deserve for it to be taken. Like, that was just wrong. That was so wrong on so many different levels. It's not even funny, guys. And like I said, I can't draw attention to it. I can't get anybody to pay attention to it. Like, anybody else? I mean, they literally let them scream at the top of their lungs, man. Wah, wah, mommy, mommy. For months. Like, so loud you could hear it outside the factory. And then you go to other factories and it's the same crap. You know why? Because they didn't do nothing at the last factory. And it shouldn't have followed me to this one. It shouldn't have followed me to the other one. Like, it is insane, man. Like, I wasn't a bad guy. That's it. Like, I didn't take no bullshit from little bitches, but I wasn't a bad guy. And they see tears in my eyes, but it was because of what they were talking about my wife cheating on me and then playing that Baby I Don't Want to Know song all night long. Like, that would hurt somebody. Talking about molesting my kids, that would make somebody cry. And that's the things that hurt me. Like, if they wanted to fight, I'd meet them anywhere. Hell, I even challenged them, walked 5 miles to Benton in the freezing rain, got the car and drove to the riverfront and stood out there like a moron. Nobody showed up. I even put, I put the laws they broke. I put the sanctions they broke against the Geneva Convention and the Versailles Treaty. The Versailles Treaty. Is that it? Anyway, I put them on there, and nothing. Nothing. I even put like, workplace harassment and all those laws on there, and civil rights laws and special needs laws and all those things. I mean, because that was the other thing. They were calling me stupid and retarded, said I couldn't do the job, couldn't read, and that's why. I mean, just utter insanity. So that's where the rape house used to be. Stumbled in the wrong party there. But what can you do? Like, even this stuff would be epic to somebody else. I mean, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know why people won't do me right. It's killing me on the inside. And, like, the thing is, like, here's the crazy part. Like, West Kentucky knows about it. Won't do nothing about it, but the whole state knows about it. Like, insanity. Like, I must have like a billboard go out, you can do anything you want as long as the guy's name's David Hightower. Like, utter insanity, man. Like, such a stigma that follows me around, it's not even funny, man. Like, I don't know. And there were a lot of things that happened in the beginning with us, too. Like, and later on. A bunch of other just heartbreaking shit. Like, you wouldn't do to anybody. I wouldn't do the shit that's been done to me to my worst enemy. I mean, put salt in my freaking tea at McDonald's, like, so much. And that's the other thing, when I was in the freaking hospital, sent me plates of bacon, poured pepper on my burgers, gave me cups of water instead of anything to drink. Like, which, I mean, like, I did everything I could to get out of there, because obviously I was in fucking shock, because they shouldn't have been doing that in a fucking ER. I mean, really, and they know about it. I left them a review about it. If this shit wasn't true, then, I'd be locked up. But anyway, for slander, but it's true. Talking about putting a dick in my mouth and how small my dick, which is not, it's not. All that crap in the ER, like, I mean, I have size 12 shoe, I would show you out, but I mean, that's, like, wrong. But still, you know what I'm saying? God. And talking about putting a dick in my mouth when I passed out, and I don't even know if they did or didn't, because they drugged me. And that's a freaking hospital. Like, when did people get this way? Like, when did we get so off our fucking rockers that this shit is okay? I was trying to explain to the one person, that, like, communism's bad, and I tried to explain about Tiananmen Square, where the dude put the flour in the tank, you know what I mean? And, like, no, communism's good. No, that's a bad form of government. And it's not the Chinese people. It's the system of government. I don't understand what people don't get about this stuff, man. Like, it's not the people in these places. No, man, a lot of them are like us. A lot of them just want to be left the hell alone. There's also a lot of them like them, too. Greedy little bastards that want whatever they can get. You know what I mean? Like, it's so insane. And, like, these countries we fought, 70, 80 years ago, people still think they're the bad guys, and they're not. Like, Germany rocks. France was a good guy, but I mean, France rocks. Japan rocks. Italy rocks. I mean, they got some pretty cool stuff, other than, like, gun control. Like, I mean, I can see there. Which I think they have, like, gun clubs and things like that you can join. Keep your guns locked up and stuff, and you can go hunt with. I don't know how that works. I think it's something similar to that. Or they may just have gun stores like us. I don't know. I do know that Australia's went bad. That was wrong. I do know that Brazil's went bad. That was wrong. Where they just come and take them from you. Which was kind of sad to me, because, like, I look at those as, like, pieces of art. Pieces of history, Like, you could have very well ran over Jesse James' gun with, a cement roller. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, not that you want to hurt anybody with those, that they carry a certain historical value, which was like mine, that they took from me. They didn't really take them from me. Like, I stole them because they had me under the guise thinking that they were going to come get them or steal them when I was at work or whatever. I didn't want to leave the house and all that good stuff, so I sold them, money came up missing, whatever. I really didn't want to, though. And, like, I have all my rights. Like, I mean, they tried to do all this crap. I mean, they were idiots and they knew what happened. That's what they messed up on. It'd been different if they weren't doing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's where they messed up. They knew they were doing it. I just don't get it. Like, and because you got a few cops and a few lawyers and a few doctors involved, nobody would do anything. That's the insanity of it. Like, it's really killing me. It is really killing me. Like, literally, every day it's heartbreaking. Every day. And, like, I thought that was a really great idea with, like, the saving the animals and stuff like that when we were out there cutting down the trees and stuff. I thought that was a great idea. Like, I mean, I would have done it anyway. You know, that's what got me started on it. Because, like, the first couple of salamanders and stuff, I didn't document. But then I was like, well, hey, that might be a good idea. And I know I had a guy on my Facebook that did research in those things, and a couple of those frogs were endangered species. And I'm kind of semi-iffy if one wasn't a new species, or an extinct species, because I hadn't seen it and I couldn't find it. But anyway, back to my story. And I found cricket frogs. I found 2 different species of cricket frogs. And the one's rare as hell, and that's just in my backyard. But anyway, back to what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I found birdsong frogs and all that crap. That's not what I'm talking about. But, like, I saved them. I thought maybe that would have brought me some good mojo. I think there's, like, a big deal about that in China, right? Is it China? That we're, like, if you save a god has to save you? Or is that Native American culture? I don't know. One of those cultures, it's like that. So, like if you save a salamander and a salamander's their god, they have to save you. That's the way that works. But I don't know which religion that is, so don't quote me on that. And it may not pertain to salamanders. It may be turtles or something like that. But either way, if I could save it, I would. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much hurt inside of me right now. And nobody would do me right. Nobody would do me right. I mean, they held up a sign, right? Held up a sign that said, Calvary ain't gonna save you, boy. Literally that time to talk the whole time I was there. Like, and they allowed it to happen. Because they thought I was doing something. They thought I did something, but I didn't do something. They had me mixed up with the other guy that was doing something. And they all believed the new little brats who never had their head busted open or anything like that. That's what that's about. They really didn't need to do it to me, though. I wasn't a bad person. Like I said, they had my Facebook account hacked and my phone hacked and knew everything I was saying, buying, or doing. Like, I'm pretty sure that's against the law. Pella, Murray, Kentucky. Originally of Pella, Ohio. I just don't get it. And then Ken Lake Foods, I never even made it out on their floor. They were talking bad about me the whole time. And then supposedly the guy that my wife had an affair with was sitting right next to me telling everybody I knew. I didn't know shit. What the hell are you talking about? Like, and then talking about how dumb I am the whole time. Like, I don't get it. And like the stuff I'm making, everything I'm making. Look, hang on. All that cool stuff, all these cool little doodads, they all mean something. I got Martin Luther King on there and everybody else. I got Anne Frank on there. Here, look, there's Martin Luther King. All right, let's see. I got the barbed wire right there painted purple and yellow. I got school teachers. I got, the Sons of the Confederacy on there because they're part of the country. They're part of the story. I got the medical field on there. I got Anne Frank. I got her name carved in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's pretty epic. And all that. The headband. All this shit's made out of trash I found. Like, a lot of the wire came out of, the rings. But check this ring out. Isn't that pimp? Isn't that cool? And I got another one just like it. Well, not just like it, but I made a bunch of them. But, I mean, like, all that stuff was made out of a junk key I found in the woods. That's where all the copper's coming from, is junk I find places and bust open to take it. Like, it's sad. Ira Hayes is on the top. You talk about Ira Hayes. Like, who the hell's Ira Hayes? That's what's wrong with this country. They don't know who any of these people are. That's sad. I got an old whip on there I found in the middle of the woods, which was probably like, back when I was a kid, we all played Cowboys and Indians and stuff. I think it's like a gas station whip, but I found it out in the middle of the woods. It's probably from the 60s or 50s. Well, I didn't find it in the middle of the woods. It was actually when we were working on the right-of-way, but still in the middle of a cornfield, put it that way. And then, all the glass comes out of rivers and creeks and things like that. I go walking. I'll take my shoes off, and I'll walk wherever it leads me. It has to do... Well, I think it has to do with my native side. I don't know. I remember my grandma always talking about how my great-granddad would walk around barefooted. Of course, they also walked around barefooted picking cotton, so hell, who knows. But that's how he'd hunt, was with his shoes on. So. And then I got, on the native side, I've got